Gayle Williford and Christine Patrick are members of Clemson's Food Safety and Nutrition team, and they are here tonight to help us learn a new skill. Thanks for being here. And what fruit are we going to focus on tonight?
We're going to can peaches tonight.
All right. And I guess that first means selecting peaches. How would we select the right type of peach to can?
You want to choose a peach that has a nice yellowish
Let's hold it still
background.
so they can
I'm sorry.
see.
And this one is not a good one to choose because we can still see some greenness there.
So that's a
so
little
it's not
too
quite right.
immature.
It's a little too immature.
Now, should it be soft or firm, or what would you say?
It needs to have just a slight bit of give.
A slight
when
bit
you
of
squeeze
give.
it, just a little bit.
All right. Well, obviously you found some that you thought looked right, but
Yes.
you've got to get the peel off, and that's always a problem for me. Do you have any
Yes.
tips?
Okay, what you need to do is bring your water to a rolling bowl.
Yes.
And you drop your peaches in there for about 30 to 60 seconds.
Now, do you put it in with a spoon, or can you just let
put
it go in?
Put it in with a spoon.
Okay.
And let it boil for 30 to 60 seconds.
Yes.
And after that, you want to take it and put it in cold ice water. And the
Okay.
peel comes
Right
off
off.
very easily.
Well, that's a lot easier than sitting there like Beetle
Yes.
Bailey with the peeling potatoes, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
so once that happens, then I guess we're going to start cutting them up to prepare them for the jar.
Yes.
And how do we know what size to make our slices?
We want to make them uniform, whatever size we choose to cut them. So we're going to slice them up and place them in a container and add something to keep it from darkening while we're working on the entire amount of peaches.
And what products can you use for that purpose?
You can use something like Fruit Fresh. It's on the market. There's also a product from Mrs. Wages. You can also use vitamin C tablets.
Vitamin C tablets?
Vitamin C tablets can be crushed and then mixed with a little water.
I see.
And some of that solution is placed on the peaches.
So even if you use the powder that comes from the store, you mix it with a little water
Yes,
first, and then
yes.
pour that over your cut peaches, and that will help keep that nice, beautiful color.
Correct. You just don't want to soak them in water, but just a little bit of water that makes it easy to coat the fruit.
Well, and how do you know how much to put in the jar? And I see you've got something that would have helped me in the past not make such a mess.
We're using a funnel here, and this funnel has measurements marked on it with headspace.
Oh.
But the funnel is used to help you to be able to place the food into the jar easily without making that mess.
And that is important because we want to keep things as clean as we can.
Yes.
How many of these peaches should we put in? How full should the jar be?
We're going to add peaches to about an inch or so.
All right.
And once we've done that, then we're going to add some of the liquid. This would have been, here we have water, but we would have made a syrup from sugar and water to
Now,
cover the peaches.
So do you feel like this should have a few more peaches in it to have
Yes,
that? Okay.
yes, Amanda, thank you. We're going to add some peaches here. And we'll add peaches until it's about an inch full.
And you say sometimes you kind of shake it down a little
Yeah,
bit. All right.
I like to shake it to help them settle in place.
Okay.
Fill in some of those gaps.
All right. So we've got our peaches about at 1 inch headroom. Is there a way to check that?
Yes, there's a head spacer. We have a head spacer that usually checks the space on the jar. But if you don't have a head
So
spacer,
different notches tell us different head spaces.
notches
All
for
right.
the head spaces. But with the peaches, we're going to do a ½ an inch. But the inch if you don't have a head spacer, you can look at the jar. There's an inch space right here.
All right.
Then the ½ an inch, and then a 1/4 of an inch. 1/4 of an inch is usually for your jellies and your jams, but we're doing a ½ an inch tonight.
Okay. So we're going to have the product at a certain level, and then the solution is going to be at another head space
Yes.
level.
Yes.
And what are some of the things we can use in the solution, the liquid?
You could use juice if you're concerned about your sugar intake.
All right. Okay.
Something like apple juice or maybe white grape juice.
Yes.
But you can also make your syrup of different amounts of sugar. So you can make an extra light syrup, a very light syrup, up to a medium or heavy syrup.
Okay. So we're going to add that syrup that you've prepared. Again, headspace is important. And why is headspace important?
Headspace is important because it helps to create the vacuum. Sometimes the foods expand. So you need to leave a certain amount of space to allow for the expansion, and then you also need to leave a certain amount of space in there for extra air that's going to be from the top of the liquid to the top of the lid to be able to expand.
My husband Christine saves all kinds of jars and things. Can I use jars that pickles and things came in, dill pickles, or should I just use a canning jar to be safe?
You have to use a canning jar. You can't use an old jar maybe you got from your grandmother or something that you think is really, really pretty that you want to can in. You have to use a canning jar. They're made of a heavier glass.
Oh, okay. Now, can I use the canning jars from year to year?
Yes, you can use the canning jars over and over from year to year as long as there are no nicks or crack on the top of it that it will not seal once you put the lid on. You can use it as much as possible.
All right. Well, we've got our peaches in here, and now I guess we need to move to the next step, which is getting that lid on them. And I think you've got more magical tools. You've got this is the lid, and it's in this pot of very hot water. And I used to have a devil of a time getting it out. Tell us what this is.
This is a magnetic wand. So there's a magnet on one end, and the lid is being heated in that water over there so that the sealing solution softens.
Okay.
We'll take this paper towel, a damp, clean paper towel, and wipe the edge or the rim of the jar to remove any food, any of the sugar.
Seal.
Yes, we want to create a tight seal. And we'll place the lid on top.
Now the lid should be fresh. Is that correct?
Lid should be fresh.
Brand new lids.
This lid may not be reused.
All right.
The screw band may be reused, but the lid may not.
All right.
And then we're going to tighten it just to finger resistance, about to there.
Now, Christine, a lot of people have, as they age, have a little trouble. I have a little lack of strength. Is there anything to help me avoid having to wear myself out?
Yes, we have a lid tightener, and what you do is just put it on top of the lid and give it a little turn, and it tightens the lid for you.
So there's no, if you have a little arthritis, that shouldn't slow you down.
It shouldn't slow you down at all.
Well, now I guess we need to process, and process is, I guess, is that going to create the vacuum and make this safe?
Yes. So what processing does is takes the heat all the way through to the center of the food product. And so we're trying to get it to a certain temperature. This is helping to sterilize the food in the jar.
Yes.
And it's also helping to remove or to be able to push that excess air that's still in there out of the jar.
This is a good device that you have
This is
there.
a jar lifter.
Now you have a basket inside of this.
Let's take that out
Just
so you can see
We've
that.
got this nice basket in this that's designed to hold the jars.
Hold the jars.
But if you don't have a basket, you said there are alternatives you can use.
Yes, you can just take the rings and just tie them together and just place them in the bottom of the
So
pot.
make almost a trivet. Is that
Yes,
correct, Christine?
you can.
And that would be just as safe.
Yes,
you
just
don't
as
want
safe.
the glass to touch the bottom of the pot.
That's right. It should not touch the bottom of the
Okay.
pot.
So if you don't have all this fancy gizmo, you can still be in business.
That's right.
All right.
Still be in
So we're going to
business.
put this in here. And how much water do we put in here?
We would have enough water in there to cover this jar by 1 to 2 inches.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be well under the water.
Yes, and it's going to allow, we've got to have a pot that's large enough to allow that bubbling to go on during the boiling.
And how long do you know how to process?
You will check your recipe.
Oh.
So each recipe for a particular food will tell you how long to process the certain size of jars.
So it varies from food to food, and
food
the
to
size of the jar.
jar.
Now, I have a lot of recipes that were my husband's grandmother's. Do you think I should just follow those recipes to get the proper cooking times?
No, we recommend that you use current, updated recipes. So you want to go to Clemson's Home and Garden Information Center website. You can find many there.
You can also find recipes in the Ball Blue Book.
Yes.
And also the
The Ball is one of the canning jar companies.
Yes, it's one of the canning jar
All right.
companies. It's the Ball Blue Book.
Yes.
And also you can find recipes in the So Easy to Preserve book. It's made through the University of Georgia, the Home Preservation Center, and you can pick those up at the local extension office too.
Okay. So after we take this out, according to the cookbook, the recipe directions, how do we proceed after that?
We'll place it on a cake rack.
Yes.
Or some folded towels.
All right.
And we will allow it to cool for at least 12 hours before we disturb it. That way we don't break the seal.
And we'll hear that ping, and the lid will
Yes.
go down.
Yes.
That wonderful ping we
Yes.
always wait for. Now,
At this point,
yes.
we can see that it's not sealed, but So you can hear that. You
And
would
on the
not be
ones
able to hear that if
the
it was
examples you
sealed.
brought, we can see that
Yeah,
they are
they're
recessed.
sealed.
Now, I see that you have them labeled. What should we put on the label, and why is that important?
You should put the name of the product and the date that you canned it.
Okay.
Because the product lasts for up to a year. The peaches will last for 12 months, up to a
Okay,
year.
all right.
And you keep them in a dry, cool place.
Now, why is it some things we can do in a water bath and some things have to be in a pressure cooker?
Your low acid foods have to be canned in a pressure cooker, and your high acids are in the water bath can.
All right. Do y'all go around the state and give workshops and do some things like that occasionally?
Yes, we do.
All right.
There are approximately 9 of us on our team, and so each of us are in multiple counties. You can call your local extension office and find out which food safety and nutrition agent handles your county.
All righty. Well, I want to thank y'all so much for coming and showing us ways that we can extend the season. All the hard work our farmers and growers do, we ought to be able to enjoy it more than just a month or two, shouldn't we?
Yes, yes.